Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Fantastic. You have a message. You are a teacher in a time where people are wandering around I'm going to say it like my father would say it, okay? People are wandering around like chickens with their heads cut off. We need leadership.
I totally agree, and no better time than like right now to push yourself into leadership.
It just feels like we are being attacked as a nation and as a globe from every single direction. Every day it's something new.
You're right, Arrow.
I love how Capital One is stepping up and saying, hey, look, we understand the challenges and the changes, and small businesses have got to be a major part of the growing of this country. And so Capital One is a great representative of making sure these companies stay open.
Oh, we're recording. Okay. You're right. Absolutely right, Arrow. Capital One has always been at the forefront of trying to understand how to support business owners. They are the heart of our community. They employ nearly half of the American workforce. But we also know that these past few years have been an extremely stressful time for business owners. And now more than ever, we know that they need our support to endure, to thrive, and continue being the pillars for the local communities that they have been for such a long time.
Your research, it goes in so deep to the layers of like surviving as well as thriving. And that's what I love about how you guys have invested in this country the way that you have.
Yes, and when you look at the results from the Capital One Business Survey, what is really interesting is that business owners are very optimistic despite facing a range of challenges these past few years. They face unpredictable economic environment, a rising inflation, tight labor market, and ongoing impacts from the pandemic continue. And despite that, an overwhelming majority of business owners feel confident that their business will be operating in the next 6 months.
Now, one of the things,
of course,
one of the things that I've seen that has taken place, only because I love listening to people share their stories and stuff, is that, sure, major corporations say that the workforce isn't there. But I'll tell you what, I've never heard a small business say that. I think people are jumping ship and going to the small businesses.
So that actually resonates, also because what we saw from the recent census data, that Americans are starting new businesses at a rapid rate compared to pre-pandemic levels, which is extremely encouraging. In fact, well, I'll throw just one quick thing in. In fact, the Capital One Business Survey, included businesses that started near the beginning of the pandemic, saying that they finally had more time to take that entrepreneurial leap and start a company.
What is the one thing that you personally have learned from all of this? Because, I mean, you're up close and personal with all of that research. What we're doing is we're receiving your research, but you're right there.
So I think the number one thing that I take away from this research is that community support is really essential to the success of small businesses, now more than ever before. Business owners are really feeling the heat of all that has been going on for the last few years. And very specifically, nearly half of small business owners are saying that they're experiencing burnout. A majority have reported experiencing at least some form of mental, physical, or emotional exhaustion from running the business in the last year.
That is so interesting that you say that, because one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of on Instagram are people who aren't afraid to talk about how they are being treated poorly in corporate America. And sometimes I think corporate America needs to pay attention to what these videos are saying, because, I mean, I can go to a small business. I work for a small company, and my God, and everybody's working together as a family. Or as we use the term, we are team players, and we live it every day.
That is exactly right. And, in my own conversations with business owners, I've heard that many struggle to step away from work, which can actually add to the never-ending cycle of burnout. And I empathize with the business owners and know how challenging it is. But I'm also happy to see that our survey found business owners are now starting to attempt to step away and really leaning into their community to find that balance within their work and personal life.
One of the things that I've taken note of, only because I'm a mall walker, and I love this new shaping of city malls. It's not about the big corporate stores being in there anymore. It's individual stores. It's individual owners saying, I can do this. Give me an opportunity. Give me a storefront.
So that is correct, Arrow. I think well, I'll need to sort of take a moment to respond to that, if that's okay.
Sure.
The thing that I keep wondering, especially as I look at the data around the speed with which new businesses have started during the pandemic, and the motivation of these entrepreneurs, I actually sort of find it really, really encouraging I really find it encouraging to see that motivation lead to entrepreneurs really starting from a side hustle and scaling that into larger business.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what about the news of FedEx saying that, well, it looks like it's going to be a bleak Christmas this year? I don't understand why they have to do that. It's almost like they're planting a seed. So I'm going to ask you, the expert. Are we going to have a great money-making Christmas inside these small businesses in America?
So, from the Capital One Business Survey, we found that inflation, cash flow, and low sales have been big challenges for small business owners. So, that definitely exists. But the holiday season will present, these hurdles. But despite that, I'm very confident that the grit and resourcefulness of the small business community will see them through the busy holiday season and beyond. The great news is that most business owners are feeling confident that they will be able to fill open positions in the next 3 months, which is just such a great way for them to meet the demand during the holiday rush.
One of the things that I've noticed, and it's great branding on behalf of Capital One, but we've spent the past year looking at the married couple who had the coffee shop or the dessert shop, and how Capital One was always there for them. Capital One invests in the community, don't they?
They absolutely do, and you're right in talking about the Antonellis,
Yes,
who have a tea shop, and we love the Antonellis. What we love about the both of them is not only are they great business owners, but they are also really a beacon for the community, and at the same time, they themselves have leaned into the lessons they learned around mental health, as well as running a business and the need to pivot their business during a pandemic. And I want to bring us back to what we sort of continue to see even through our survey results, when we hear from business owners that an increasing amount of mental exhaustion is what they are grappling with on a day-to-day basis right now.
Oh, and it's the pressure and the stress is on. What does Capital One, when it comes to that stress and stuff, do they offer any help for the small businesses or anything?
I think from our perspective, the thing that Capital One really focuses on is making sure that the way we serve them, our products are intuitive, and they continue to make their day-to-day working with our products easy and seamless. That's the best way in which we continue to support business owners, while also trying to bring other resources to bear for them through a variety of different means, be it just the range of products we offer, but also just the range of sort of community type events that we organize.
Wow. You are such a wealth of information. I could talk to you all day today. Please come back to this show anytime in the future.
Thank you so much, Arrow. Thanks for having me.
Well, you be brilliant today.